everybody, my name is Evelyn. I'm so glad you guys are here listening to stories. Let's get our rhythm going. I hope you brought your hands. Ready? Boing, boing, squeak. Boing, boing, squeak. There's a story in my house. It's been about a week. I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it's been. I don't know. Where did it go? I want to hear it again. I look to my left. I look to my right. I look all around. It's still out of sight. I look on the ground and over my head. Shh, there's something in my bed. Let's see what it is today. Ooh, it is a teeny tiny leaf. And one that's a little bit bigger. And one that's even bigger. 3 fall leaves. Aren't these so pretty? Do you want to see them closer? They are orange. What other colors do you see? Yellow, I think. Yeah, and then if you turn them over, they're even more yellow. Oh, I just thought they were so pretty. And today we are telling all stories about fall. So a really fun thing you can do if you want to is go outside and try to collect some really cool looking leaves. You might have to go on a walk because not all trees have really pretty leaves like this one. But if you go on a walk, I bet you can find at least one really pretty fall leaf, and then maybe you can take it home. All right, well, our first story today is all about those leaves falling. And it is called Fall Leaves Fall. Because you know, fall can both mean, whoop, you fell to the ground. And it can mean like what we're talking about today, fall the season. So, Fall Leaves Fall. This is by Zoe Hall and illustrated by Shari Halpern. All year long, my brother and I wait for our favorite season to come. Can you guess what it is? Fall! How do we know when fall is coming? We watch the leaves. In summer, the leaves on the tree are green. Look, that's a blue jay. And there's a doggy chasing a butterfly. When the leaves change color, we know fall is here. I think these ones look kind of like the leaf that we just looked at. And what's that there? A little ladybug. Look at all the fall colors. Leaves turn red, orange, and yellow. When the wind blows, leaves start to fall from the trees. We try to catch them. Have you ever used a net to try to catch a leaf? I never have. I wonder if that would be fun. It looks like it. We like to stomp on the leaves. Crunch! We like to kick the leaves too. All the fall colors fly back into the air. Whoosh! We like to collect leaves. Some leaves are very small. Some leaves are big. Some leaves have pointy edges. Some leaves have smooth edges. Ooh, that's a fun thing to look for when you find a leaf. When the leaves cover the ground, it's time to rake them up. At last, we have made a huge pile. Next, what do you think that they like to do with a huge leaf pile? We jump in! That's a fun thing to do. Inside, we drink mugs of warm cider and eat lots of cookies. And look, they decorated their cookies to look like the leaves. These leaves came from our favorite trees. Maple? Hey, that's the same as the ones we were looking at. Look, it's because this also came from a maple tree. There's lots of maple trees in Ann Arbor. Sassafras. That's a fun word to say. Do you want to try saying it? Sassafras. Oak. Ginkgo. Beech. Oak 2. 2 oaks. We make pictures with our leaves. Ooh, look at what they made. It looks like they made a couple of fish and a couple of leaf people. Before long, the leaves have turned brown and the branches are bare. All the fall colors are gone, but we know they will be back next year. The end. Well, I think that would be really fun to go collect some leaves and then make a picture with them. I might try that later. All right, can you guys show me your hands? Open, shut them, open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Lay them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, slowly creep them right up to your chin, chin, chin. Open up your little mouth, but do not let them in. Shake them, shake, shake, shake them just like this. Whoa! Roll them, roll them below a little kiss. Mwah! Good job. All right. Well, our next story that we are going to tell is all about apples, because in the fall is when apples are ripe, and I love apples. You can make so many things with them. Apple cider, apple pie, apple cake. You can just eat them how they are. And you know, lots of different creatures and animals and people also like apples. So we're going to start with these apples. Let's count them together, and then we'll see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 apples. All right. 5 red apples hanging in a tree. The tastiest apples that you ever did see. Along came a snail. Hello. Oop, who looked all around. Then he went up and an apple came down. How many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 red apples hanging in a tree. The tastiest apples that you ever did see. Along came an elephant. Wow. Who looked all around. Then she went up the tree and an apple came down. Well, how many do we have now? 1, 2, 3. 3 red apples hanging in a tree. The tastiest apples that you ever did see. Along came a wild thing who looked all around. Then up he went and an apple came down. How many now? 1, 2. 2 red apples hanging in a tree. The tastiest apples that you ever did see. Along came a giraffe who looked all around. Then she went up and an apple came down. How many now? Just 1. 1 red apple hanging in a tree. The tastiest apple that you ever did see. Along came a goat who looked all around. Then he went up and an apple came down. Oh, no more apples. They've all been eaten. The end. Good job, everybody. Let's take our tree down. And next, I am going to tell you a story about Frog and Toad. I bet you guys know all about Frog and Toad, and I know I've told some Frog and Toad stories for you before. Well, this one is called The Surprise, and Frog and Toad is by Arnold Lobel. They're great books. Well, one day, in fall. All the leaves had fallen off of the trees. They were lying on the ground outside of Toad's house and outside of Frog's house. Here are the houses. We have to put some leaves down because those leaves had fallen all over. And the leaves had also fallen all over Frog's house. Well, when Toad woke up, whoops, that's not Toad. Silly me, that's Frog. Frog woke up and Toad woke up and they looked out. Oh, thought Toad. Oh, the leaves are everywhere. I know what I will do. I will go to Frog's house and clean up his leaves. Oh, he'll be so surprised. It'll be so nice. He'll never know. I think I'll walk through the tall grass so that he doesn't see me coming. So Toad got his rake and he walked through the tall grass so that Frog couldn't see him coming. Well, at the same time, Frog had woken up and looked out and said, "Oh, this is a lot of leaves on the ground. Toad will probably want help. I know what I'll do. I will sneak over to Toad's house and I will clean up all of his leaves. And so then he will be so surprised to have a nice clean yard." So Frog got his rake and he snuck over to Toad's house. Well, soon Toad arrived at Frog's house and Frog arrived at Toad's house. They both raked and raked, which is a lot of work, but they loved each other, so they did it to help out. They raked and raked all those leaves until they were in a very neat pile. They looked at what they had done and thought, "Oh, this is so great." Oh, Toad thought, when Frog gets home and sees his yard, he is going to be so excited. And Toad thought, when Frog comes home, he'll be so excited. They were both very pleased. Well, Frog started to walk home, and Toad started to walk home. But don't you know that just then a big wind blew up, whoosh, 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 and it blew all those leaves right back, whoosh, to where they had been. Whoosh, whoosh. Well, soon Frog got back to his house and Toad got back to his house. Toad looked at all the leaves on his yard and said, "Oh, well, I will have a big job to clean these up tomorrow." But Frog will be so happy and surprised to see his yard. And when Frog got home and looked at his yard, he thought, "Oh, tomorrow I really must clean up my yard." But Toad will be so happy to see his nice clean yard. And they both went to sleep that night, feeling very pleased. The end. Good listening. Can you guys show me your fingers? I have 10 fingers. They all belong to me. I can make them do stuff. Want to see? I can make them jump high. I can make them jump low. I can fold them quietly and sit just so. I can squeeze them tight. I can open them wide. I can fold them all together. I can make them all hide. I can make them jump high. I can make them jump low. I can fold them all together and sit just so. Well, this story is called Bear Has a Story to Tell. This is by Philip Steed and illustrated by Aaron Steed. You might know them because they also wrote A Sick Day for Amos McGee, among other books, but I love that one. And they used to live in Ann Arbor. I think now they live in a different part of Michigan. I'm sure they still see lots of leaves. It was almost winter, and Bear was getting sleepy. But first, Bear had a story to tell. Mouse, would you like to hear a story? Asked Bear with a yawn. I am sorry, Bear, said Mouse, but it is almost winter and I have many seeds to gather. Bear helped Mouse find seeds on the forest floor. When they had finished, Mouse said, "See you soon," and tunneled underground to wait for spring. Bear took slow, sleepy steps through the forest. Fallen leaves crunched under his feet. Crunch, 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 crunch. Oh, hello, Duck, said Bear, sitting down to rest his tired legs. Would you like to hear a story? I am sorry, Bear, said Duck, but it is almost winter, and I am getting ready to fly south. I will miss you, Duck, said Bear. He raised a paw to check the direction of the wind. I will miss you too, said Duck, and off he flew. Do you know what that's called when animals fly south for the winter? They're migrating. The sun was heavy and hung low in the sky. Bear's eyelids were getting heavy too. He counted colors to stay awake. 3 pink clouds, 2 red leaves, 1 green. Frog! Hello, said Bear. Would you like to hear a story? I am sorry, Bear, said Frog, but it is almost winter and I have to find a warm place to sleep. Bear dug a frog-sized hole between 2 evergreens. Then he tucked Frog in under a blanket of leaves and pine needles. Thank you, Bear, said Frog. I will see you in the spring. Bear leaned against the old oak tree. He stretched and yawned and scratched at his belly. I wonder if Mole is awake, he thought. Mole, are you there, Mole? Mole was already asleep. Good night, Mole, said Bear with a sigh. The first winter snowflakes began to fall. Many months passed, and the sun returned. It melted the snow and woke the trees. Bear rolled out onto the green grass. It's spring, he said. Now I can tell my story. But first, Bear brought Mouse an acorn. Thank you, Bear, said Mouse. Mouse was hungry after a long winter. Welcome home, Duck, called Bear. You must be tired from your journey. Bear showed Duck a shady mud puddle he'd found. Bear placed Frog in the sunshine till he was awake and warm. Frog opened one eye, then the other. Good morning, said Bear. Bear, Mouse, Duck, and Frog waited all day for Mole to wake up. Finally, Mole poked his nose out into the moonlight. Mole, said Bear, would you like to hear a story? Bear gathered his friends. He sat up straight and cleared his throat. He puffed out his chest, and with all his friends listening, Bear could not remember his story. It was such a good story, he said, hanging his head, but winter is a long time for a bear to remember. The friends sat together for a quiet minute. Then Mouse said, maybe your story is about a bear. And Duck said, maybe your story is about the busy time just before winter. I think there should be other characters too, suggested Frog. Like a mole, said Mole, and a mouse and a duck and a frog. Bear sat up straight again. He cleared his throat, puffed out his chest, and began his story with, It was almost winter, and Bear was getting sleepy. The end. And I think that's such a lovely story about fall and also how much fun it is to tell stories, especially to good friends. For this next song, you guys can either do it standing up or sitting down, depending on what you want. And it goes like this. Can you get your hands out? Autumn leaves are falling down, falling down, falling down. Autumn leaves are falling down, falling on the ground. The wind will blow them round and round, round and round, round and round. The wind will blow them round and round, all around the town. Take a rake and rake them up, rake them up, rake them up. Take a rake and rake them up, all through the town. Now let's jump into the pile, jump into the pile. To the pile, let's jump into the pile, all around the town. Good job. All right, well now it is that time where you start sitting down. So if you were standing up, you should sit back down. And then when you hear the words knees up, you know what to do. Start jumping. There was a chicken from France who didn't know how to dance. The only thing that he could do was knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown. Sit back down. Well, there were some apples on the tree till the animals came along. For a while then there were only 3. The only other thing the animals could do was knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown. Sit back down. Well, Robot would just like to say, thanks for listening to stories today. The only other thing that she can do is knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, knees up, Mother Brown. Beep boop, beep boop. Knees up, Mother Brown. Boop boop, beep boop. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown. Faster! Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown. Woo! Wiggle, wiggle fingers right up to the sky. Wiggle, wiggle fingers, wave them all goodbye. Thank you for listening to stories. You can keep up with all of our story times here on AADL TV by liking and subscribing. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.